Yeah, I thought it was a really good showing by everyone that stepped on the field. I think it's really important for the new players to get experience against NWSL teams, but also for us veterans to get back up to speed and then kind of as a collective to come together and build new relationships because we have a lot of new players on the team. So just being able to get those minutes in the tank and fitness-wise, but also chemistry-wise and playing together.
And I know you've always been a very vocal player, but I'm noticing it even elevated now, you really commanding the midfield, directing people. Do you sense yourself taking on an even bigger role in that sense as a leader, and how have you been approaching that?
Yeah, I think coming into my second year with the team, stepping up, especially with all the new players, I think that's a role that I've kind of embraced and stepping into, and being able to build on the relationships that I created last year, but also adding new people into the fold I think is going to be really important. So the more that I can vocalize on the field and help everyone be on the same page offensively and defensively, I think it'll just help the team going forward.
Love that. Last one for me, and then we'll go to Abraham. In terms of Jonas's game plan, what did he kind of tell you guys before the game, and how do you feel like you guys implemented that, and if you did?
Yeah, I think we're still in early phases of really honing into how we want to play and our style of play. But from the start, we knew we wanted to try to get pressure higher up the field compared to the Utah game. But then on the flip side, we wanted to keep our lines compact. We wanted to win balls that come into our midfield, and then what happens after that. So when we win the ball, can we go forward or do we need to keep the ball? And I think as a team, we did a really good job of sticking to our game plan. And there's obviously moments that we can learn from, but that's why we have preseason. So I think it's really good game to be able to get those experiences and learn from.
Yeah, I definitely saw that.
Yeah, can you talk about your role in the midfield, kind of playing a bit more defensive today? How have you been accustomed to that?
Yeah, obviously, it's a little bit of a different role being able to link the back line with our 10s, but I think at the same time, I'm still able to, as long as we can keep the ball and keep the ball higher up the field, I'm able to join into the attack. So I think it showcases my ability to play forward, switch the point of attack, and then once I am able to get into the final third, I'm still finding myself in and around the box. I had a few shots today, a few through balls, so I think it's kind of just picking and choosing my moments and kind of being able to showcase everything that I can do as a player.
Cool. All right. All set.
Sweet.
Unmic yourself.
We don't need a mic for this one, right?
No.
Okay.
Well, in case we like what you say and we want to steal it. Okay. You good? Okay, we're good.
Yeah. Could you just tell us overall what you thought of the team's performance first preseason game in front of fans?
Yeah, I think we've been putting in a lot of work, and it's just great to see it implemented on versus an opponent. And I think we're doing a lot better, playing a lot better, and I think just dominating the ball has been a key thing, and finding ways to have variety in the attack, and you could see that today, but just didn't get any goals off. But I think we're going to be working that into the first game of our season.
And for Trinity, what's it been like this first professional game? How does it feel?
Honestly, it's truly amazing just to be able to be in this atmosphere with such talented players. At the same time, it's amazing to see how far we've grown from the start of the preseason going to now, and we're all gelling together. Unfortunately, we didn't get the goals to show for it, but they will come. So honestly, I'm just proud to be a part of Wave and just proud to be here with everybody.
What about this team is gelling together?
I think we all obviously have different play styles, but we're all finding out our strengths and using our strengths and putting people in good positions to be able to do what they're best at. And I think that's the part where we're putting people in good situations to be able to do what makes them special.
Yeah, Mel, you were here last season. How do you see this team different? What has impressed you? And for both of you, what are your personal goals this season?
Yeah, I think we're all. I know right now it's preseason, but I think just the dedication and the hard work that we're doing at the training grounds right now is. I feel like we're all just really committed, and just a lot of energy and positivity going into the season. I think you need to have belief, and we definitely do have that. And I just think the play style. We have a lot of different players and different backgrounds, internationals, which I think is a really good thing. So I think going into the season, we're going to have a lot of different backgrounds from going off of last season. And personal goals, I think first off for the team to get into playoffs, win the championship. I think that's everyone's goals, but taking it week by week, and right now all we can focus on is the first game of our season, so that's all we're going to focus on. But yeah.
For me personally, for our team, I think the main thing is just finding that chemistry and finding just being strong on the ball and without the ball, and just tactically, like what do we need to work on so we can become stronger against the toughest opponents. And honestly, like what Mel said, just winning. Honestly, at the end of the day, it's like we want to win. We want to get to the championship. We want to be in the final, and how to get there is like we have to take the steps and learn our mistakes and just kind of continue and grow from everything.
Yeah, and that starts in training every day.
And the coach talked about being, like kind of developing all season. And Maria talked about some of the veteran players stepping up. Who has really like helped you develop you personally?
I don't think I don't know if there's a certain like one that's personal. I think, the people who have been here from the beginning of the Wave season, I mean, I feel like they're stepping up a lot. I wouldn't say like it's a specific person. I think all of the veterans on the team have found a different way and, connected with you in personal ways and on the field, just communication-wise. I think everyone has played a big part in it, and I think that just goes back to whoever's been here in the beginning. I mean, I feel like even myself, this is my third year here, third year at the club, and third year in the league, so any ways I can help the young players is also what I feel like everyone's just kind of helping each other.
Yeah. On top of that, like everybody here is an amazing person as well. So they all want the best for you. Of course, we're going to be competitive on the field, but we're all helping each other be better at the end of the day. So.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Of course.
Go take a nap or something. Here, like get some rest, drink some water.
How's
See your mom.
Hey.
that on your camera with the background?
Are you guys good with him here? Okay. You good? Okay. Abraham?
All right, Jonas, you talked about developing throughout the season. What did you see today, and how is this team developing?
I mean, I said that to the team as well after, to see like for a team to mature, it's about being exposed from different situations and different opponents and being able to learn from that. And I mean, we got exposed to a couple of different things here now that Houston was doing, both in their shape that they were building up, but also the way they were pressing. And I really like how we were able to adapt during the game, and we were able to put learnings into practice. And that's what I think is really important when you're trying to combine learning and being competitive, that yes, we need to be competitive when we play games, but we also need to be very solution orientated. And we can't wait until after the game to find those solutions. We need to find a way to communicate, to observe and to take on that information so we can make changes during the game. And I'm very pleased to see that we were able to do that today.
And despite so many new players, the team still kind of looked connected, like they've been playing together for some time. What can you say about how this team's chemistry has been developing?
Like I said, the ambition is very high. The players are very bought in. They're very accountable. They're active. They want to make a difference, and I think that's a great starting point working with any team.
And are there any injury concerns with like Delphine Cascarino coming out a little early there? Or?
No, that was just load management. Like she had a little niggle that stopped her from playing against Youth the other weekend, and now she were able to do a few minutes. But I mean, she's not really there fully. Otherwise, I think she could have been traveling with the national team. But now it's a very good decision and with good communication with the French national team that she can stay here and build up properly. So she both can get ready for a good and tough season for us, but also being ready for the summer, for the Euros for them.
And a lot of the young players got a lot of minutes today, including Timmy Ascanio. Can you speak a little bit to what the young players provided today?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a little bit against to sort of bunch in all the players into just being young, because I still think we look at everyone as individuals. But you see a player like Kimmy, she's been playing 2 times 90 minutes here so far during the preseason. I think there's so many valuable learnings from that, but I also think you can see her showcasing her talent, that she really has something to give to this team as well, with the way she plays. Yeah.
Hey, Coach, we saw you get a little verbal out on the field. I heard you call out Maria's name. Was that out of frustration, or you're just, that's your style of coaching, and the first glimpse of the fans being here? Is that something they're going to get used to? You're a verbal person out on the field.
I think you have to be verbal so players can hear you, but it's only to help in how we position and what decisions we do. I think you will notice a lot of times that I try not to be verbal right in the moment with a player that has the ball, because I always think that's the decision making is down to that player. But what we can do help with our communication is the movement around the ball, and being able to then also to correct things during during the games, and I think Maria found a lot of good positions. Maybe we should have been a little bit better finding her.
And going back to Maria, we saw her play a lot of minutes. Is that something that you and her decided, or she wanted to, prove in front of the fans? What was the message? What was the message behind that? Having her play those minutes and not subbed out.
No, I mean, because she can play those minutes. I think she is at a point where she needs to play those minutes as well to build fitness and to build form going into to the season. And if we wouldn't have felt like it was a safe way for her to play 90 minutes, then we wouldn't have done it. But now we felt like we could push her doing that, so that was good.